Okay, hello everybody, and welcome back to another video from the Investor Diary. We have the screen on this GBP CHF. This was the last trade that we made um, yesterday, Friday. Uh, Today is Saturday, the weekend. Therefore, we are not going to talk about trades. We are going to talk about infrastructure. As I said, we have now been talking within a series talking about my personal trading platform, which consists of the trading philosophy, strategic objectives, methodology, and trading plan. And this is the environment that the trading environment that I'm building for myself, so as to be trading within a professional, career driven environment. And this is how I'm doing it. I'm putting rules in different categories uh, from an upper range to a more specific, to from the more general philosophical rules to the more specific trading rules or daily trading rules. So we talked about the philosophy, we talked about the strategic objectives, and I was saying that the recording opened on this screen because this is the last trade that took place yesterday, and it was a huge part in creating changes in the way we have developed the trading philosophy and the strategic objectives. So let's take a look at that. And if this is what we're going to do this session. What the changes that are happening to the philosophy and to the strategic objectives. If we still have time, we will move to discuss a new section of the trading platform, which is the trading methodology. And it's a big section actually. So let's see how it goes. Now let's revise. So this is going to be a session more about changes to the trading philosophy. And before going into those changes, as I said in the first time that I talked about the trading philosophy, I said this is just been built, and it is expected for this philosophy to change and being updated and being modified by maturity, experience, all factors. It's a dynamic being, and it must change and evolve over time. Evolve is the word that I was looking for. So yeah, so trade within the methodology and according to plan, that's fine. Trade for maximum 3 hours a day. This is now under scrutiny, and I am trading. I used to trade for 1.5 hours, maximum 3 hours if there were a lot of updates. But now, actually, the normal trading day is taking between 2.5 to 3 hours, and this is under testing now. This rule is being challenged. This part of the philosophy is being challenged, and we need to monitor that closely. No stop loss. Now, this has been gone because of what happened last week. This was under heavy questioning whether this could continue or not. I realized that I couldn't continue without a stop loss. So I tried to challenge this in my trading, and it didn't work. So yeah, it is going to change. I'll show you how it changed. I will not articulate it now. I don't know if I'm going to delete it altogether or to change its wording. I'm not sure yet, but let's look at what happened and how it affected the trading philosophy. So last week, let's look at the boundaries of last week. So last week is between the 16th and the 20th, 16th to the 20th. Okay. So those trades were 16th to the 20th. This is strange. Yeah, 16th to the 20th. So 17, 18, those are the two trades that are within those boundaries. So we have the USD JPY and the GBP USD. Okay, so let's look what happened. Now we have a loss here and a win here, and this loss was this much. And what it did is actually it took, and this trade was on the same day. So it took all the profits that we have done in the previous 2 weeks from the 2nd of February until those days. So it took 3 weeks of profits. It took the profits of this trade, the GBP USD, and then took all that. So once we're done with this day, we're up $2 only. So we're back to square one. We're back to the original capital. Okay. So that one trade without a stop loss, and we were monitoring it. Okay, we were monitoring it on daily basis, and we were looking at it and seeing points where things could go back into our favor, but they didn't. They kept on getting worse. So finally, Friday came, and the Friday rule kicked in, and the Friday rule is as follows. Let's see, where is the Friday rule? Yes, avoid trading on Fridays or must close on the same day. So if we have any trades, we close them. So the USD JPY was under that law that it closed. Otherwise, if we didn't have this rule, then I don't know what would have happened. Let's take a look at what would have happened. The USD JPY. Okay. Let's look at this is it's here on the 4 hour, and yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. It's still very bad. And I thought this might create head and shoulders, but it's not until now, and it's still going up. The direction is up. Okay, so yeah, we have a very very um, bad situation. I mean, if it stayed open, it would have been even worse. So we kind of closed it somewhere around here. Okay, so let's get back to our topic. Okay, so now what we're doing, actually, let me show you what we're doing, how we are including the stop loss. So what we do is that we look at the 15-minute time frame and the 4 hour time frame. Okay, and we look at this chandelier's exit. In a previous video we talked briefly about the trading plan, but we're not going to explain it until the time comes to talk about it in detail. We'll only discuss now the things that pertain to this topic of the stop loss and the philosophy. So what we do is that this is the candle where we took the trade. So I want to see if I can actually pinpoint it here. So I'm not sure this level. Yes, this is the level. Okay, great. So this is the level where we took the trade here. Okay, so the stop loss would be, see this chandelier's exit. I will put it off and on. So we have boundaries. We have an upper boundary. Okay, look at this, for example, when it is a sell direction, there is an upper line. When there is a buy signal, there is a lower line. So I used that line for my stop loss. So my stop loss became this level. If I put the line here, the cursor. If I put the cursor here, you can see it on the other screen. Look at it where that fits here. Okay. Ah, yeah, it's around there. Okay. I don't know. I can't just hold my hand steady. Yes, it's around here. So my stop loss was here. So let's talk about now the RRR. I have no RRR. As we can see, this is not an RRR that could be planned for. Okay. um, where do we have that RRR in a place? Decide on daily challenge now. Losing, avoid trading. In the methodology, we don't have RRR in the methodology. Okay. So now this is off, and we talked about how now we're including a stop loss in our trading. Avoid trading on Fridays. We might because of this now we might not have this rule. I need to think about it yet. Decide on daily return. Now, this is the decide on daily return with a take profit. So we take between 30 to 60 pips, and it's in pips. Per week, in the objectives, we have between 10 to 25% per week. Now, this is a strategic objective, meaning that we will be working towards achieving this objective. Okay. And what happened during this week, the previous week. So these were the trades. Let's look. Now this week is between the 23rd and the 27th. 23rd and 27th. That means these are these three trades. And in these three trades, we got 92.22. And we divide this to know the return. We divide this over the current balance before those trades. Okay. So if we are going to do this, so we'll take that 92.22, which is the sum of these trades in that period, and divide them by 947. I know that this table, since there is a strategic objective, then this table needs to show this number clearly, not by manually calculating it. It should be embedded, but I didn't have the time to go through this. So yeah, point one, and let's have it times 100. So last week we were able to do 9.7374%. Okay, which is very close to the 10%. But we don't want just to be close to the 10%, which is the minimum of the range. We want to exceed the 10% because the 10% is the minimum of the range. And there is something that, for example, there was yesterday, there was an opportunity on another. I had an alarm set on another pair, and I think it was the CHF JPY. But because this system, you can see that this system is 3 weeks old, and one needs to get how do you call it, one needs to get fluent, not fluent, trained. Okay, trained on using this platform and this plan. One needs to be trained on using it day in, day out, so that things start being a normal routine, not something new to the person. When we deal with something new, we tend to forget, especially if it is made of so many steps and so many rules involved. So now, if there is a situation that is still developing, for example, like this one, exactly like this one. So now this is developing. We have, well, no, it's not developing. Why? Because on the 4 hour, it's a buy. On the sell signal came on the 15th, but those two on the chandelier's exit indicator both need to be showing the same thing. But let's say, for the example sake, that there was a sell signal here, then we will be waiting for this 15 stochastic for the D to hit the 32, to cross the 32. This is when we start looking at the other indicators to check. For example, this one is still above. It's, I mean, this is a very bad case, but because all the other indicators are against a sell. For example, the daily stochastic is going up, the 4 hour stochastic is going up, the RSI, the 4 hour RSI is above its MA and above, way above 50. It went down from the overbought area, and this is scary because it can go up again. So we have on the 4 hour, it's only one candle here going down, which is this very strange candle. Maybe it was, maybe there were some news. But the news were on the Canadian, but and it was very early, and this happened very late. So yeah, I don't know. It was a very very strange move, very heavy move. So I had an alarm. The alarm rang, but I had closed my laptop. So when I close my laptop, I cannot hear the alarms. I don't know still how to set that on TradingView, the mobile app. If I don't know that fact, I need to test that. If I put an alarm on the TradingView desktop, will the app ring that alarm for me? So yeah, this is something that we need to test. Why? Because those are the things, the small details, which mean the implementation of the plan. Those small steps are the means of implementing a plan if we have one. We need to keep on trying to find ways to implement these steps in an evolving matter. We need to become better and better in being able to apply those rules that we have put for ourselves. And the question is always, how do I apply this rule in the best possible way? So how do I achieve this? I need to keep thinking of enhancing the system uh, to be able to achieve this strategic objective or any other strategic objective. So the issue here is, how do we keep on improving to be able either to apply the rules that we have set, or even to improve the rules that we have set, as we have seen with regard to the stop loss. We didn't put we didn't shoot ourselves in the leg, let's say, with this. I'm not stubborn. We cannot be stubborn. We need to learn. So when we put something to the test, we put it to the test. And if it doesn't work, then we need to find a work around it. Yeah, so I stopped this, and now we have a stop loss. And because of this, now we need to think of the Friday rule, the trading rule. Is it going to be affected or not? So yeah, these are the changes that happen to the philosophy. Challenge having no losing trades. Now this is going to be affected as well because of the stop loss. There will be losing trades. So those three, no, not this one. One, two, and three are going to be affected. I mean, three in this: one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. 3 out of 7 need to be thought about. That means we might have a revamp, a total revamp of the trading philosophy. Nothing changed on the strategic objective. Things have changed dramatically on the trading plan, but in the implementation of the trading plan. But this is something for another session because I think our time is up. Yes, bye bye.